Good afternoon, welcome everyone. This is Japan turn 40.W.3 for Operation Skyhook. This go around, the Japanese have 40 to spend. They'll be producing 3 destroyers for 21, 3 infantry for 9, and 5 militia for 10. Now we'll move around and do our research rolls. Japanese will be researching long-range aircraft and wartime economy. So first up, long-range aircraft with a 7 or better. And we get a 7. So long-range aircraft will go up 1. And now wartime economy with a 7 or better. And that's also a 7. So both of those will go up to stage 3. Long-range aircraft and wartime economy for the Japanese moves up to stage 3. Now, try to get this where everything can be seen to the extent it needs to be seen. Combat moves for the Japanese. First, the Japanese will be moving a fighter and a tactical off the fleet carrier here in C zone 123. It will be moving those into, oh my goodness, C zone 87. So everything is going in C zone 87. I'm going to set right down here. These are the defending units in C zone 87. And I am using my surprise strike. So we'll just set that stuff right down there so we can keep it straight. Okay, a destroyer, a light cruiser, and a heavy cruiser, and a submarine from that C zone right there in 123. If I'm not getting my stuff mixed up here. Okay, C zone, okay. Destroyer, light cruiser, yeah, destroyer, light cruiser, heavy cruiser, submarine, yeah, dropping stuff everywhere. That stuff was all there right here. That's moving 1, 2, right up in there. The transport will be picking up an SNLF from Borneo and moving it to Calcutta. The surprise strike is on the fleet, so I'm going to get all that stuff moved, but that was one of the things that was there, so I got to get that out of the way. Okay, in C zone 132, right here, we have 2 heavy cruisers, a light cruiser, and a destroyer. 2 heavy cruisers, a light cruiser, and a destroyer. Those will be moving in with the surprise strike. The fighter off that light carrier will be going 1, 2, 3 and attacking Calcutta. 2 battleships and a battle cruiser be moving up there and doing shore bombardment. The 2 transports are right down here. One of those is going to pick up these 2 SNLFs, and as they move along, they're also going to pick up that SNLF, and those guys are going into Calcutta. get some things out of my hand. Maybe I can pick something else up. But those guys will be going into Calcutta. Total 4 SNLFs and a fighter attacking in Calcutta. Okay, 2 tacticals from Hunan going to attack Hong Kong. Attacking into Hong Kong, along with 2 infantry from Kwangtung going into Hong Kong. 1 fighter from Hunan. Yeah. 1 fighter from Hunan is going to go in Maritime Air Patrol right out here in Sea Zone 89. The destroyer from Sea Zone 125 is going to go 1, 2, 3 into Sea Zone 89. Coastal sub from 88. Got a major port there in Kwangtung. 1, 2, so it can be involved in this battle out here. What's left? 1 medium bomber from Hunan, right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Be attacking into Sarawak. The infantry in Borneo will also be attacking into Sarawak. And I do believe that should be all the combat moves for this round. Cannot guarantee that I didn't miss something, but I don't think I did. I've got the battle for the sea zone, which is the surprise attack. I've got the land attack with shore bombardments going in there. Got the attack into Hong Kong with 2 infantry and 2 tacticals. I've got the attack from Borneo going into Sarawak with 1 infantry and 1 medium bomber. So, time to start getting stuff on the board and getting things where I can roll them out. What a mess I'm making. That's the way it goes. Okay, I hope you can see that. All defenders are at -1 in the surprise attack. So everybody's going to drop down 1. I don't know that the fleet does, that the light carrier can drop down to less than 1, but we'll see. That's the way that go. We'll work that out here in a minute. I have a coastal sub, which is first strike at 2. A regular sub at first strike, which is a 3. My aircraft are also first strike units, so I have a fighter at 6 and a tactical bomber at 7. But all those defenders will move down 1 according to the way I read that rule. So gather up some dice here. We'll start off with a coastal sub first strike at 2. That was a 1, ladies and gentlemen. I kid you not. A Regular sub first strike at 3. That's a miss. Have a fighter first strike at 6. And that is a hit. So far we've got 2 hits. And a tactical bomber first strike at 7. And that's a miss. So 2 hits. I'm going to assume that he would probably take a hit on his battleship just so he could continue it in the battle and lose the white carrier, since it's not going to do him any good. If that's wrong, then that's wrong. Okay. Battleship, which moves, it's not, yeah, it'll move down 1 next time because it's damaged now, but it's at a 7 or less. 1, that's a hit for the battleship. Heavy cruiser at 5 or less. It's an 8, that's a miss. Fighter, that's an 8, that's also a miss. So I think the first strikes are over now. I will shoot with the coastal sub at a 2, and it's got a hit. Regular sub at a 3 or less, and it got a hit. 2 destroyers at 4 or less, no hits. 2 light cruisers at 5 or less, 1 hit. 3 heavy cruisers and a fighter, all at 6 or less. All at 6 or less, there's 3 hits and a tactical miss. So 6 hits out of what was left. So I'll let those guys defend. Damaged battleship at 7 or less. That's a 7. Yes, that is a 7, so that's going to be a hit. Heavy cruiser, 4, that's a hit. And a fighter, 2, that's a hit. So they did get 3 hits. So I'm going to take off a coastal sub and 2 destroyers. Nope. Coastal sub, a destroyer, and a regular submarine. That's the way I'm going to do that. Coastal sub, regular sub, and 1 destroyer are the casualties for the Japanese to get done with that surprise strike in the sea zone. The British fleet has sunk. Alright. Get this stuff moved back down there. Pile this stuff right in here, because that sea zone is going to get awfully crowded. The British have 2 infantry and a militia defending in Calcutta. Two infantry and a militia defending in Calcutta. That may have been right there. Okay. And the Japanese will be attacking with 4 SNLFs and 1 fighter, along with shore bombardment from 2 battleships and a battle cruiser. hope you can see the board from that angle. I've got 4 SNLFs attacking at a 3. It's first round of an amphibious assault. Fighter at 6. 2 infantry defending at 4, and a militia defending at 2. Looking at it backwards, I think that can be seen. So we'll start off with 2 battleships shore bombarding at 4 or less. 2 battleships at 4 or less for shore bombardment. Got 1 hit. 1 hit from shore bombardment, and battle cruiser at 3 or less. And that's a miss. So, did achieve 1 hit. I'm sure they'll take off the militia, which only seems smart. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 dice at 3 or less. All misses. Fighter at 6. 2, that's a hit. That will kill one of the infantry. Now we will defend with 2 infantry at 4 or less. 8 and a 7. 8 and a 7, those are going to both be misses. SNLFs will drop back down to 2 after the first round of combat. So 4 at 2. Looks like 1 hit, which was all that was needed, but I'll go ahead and roll that fighter anyway just for fun. And he got a 9, so he missed. But the infantry will get a shot back. And he gets a 4, so 1 SNLF will be gone. So the Japanese have successfully taken Calcutta with 3 SNLFs surviving. And the fighter also survives, but he's got to go back to a carrier at the end of this little fracas. Okay. Okay, we got the medium bomber that attacked into Sarawak versus, and the infantry coming out of Borneo versus the 1 militia. Okay. All right, let's see here. Infantry at 2 or less, miss. And the medium bomber at 7 or less. 1. Medium bomber hits the militia. Militia gets a shot back at 2 or less. It gets a 10, so that's a miss, so that invasion is successful. Okay, that medium bomber that hit Sarawak has only 1 movement point left, so he's got to land in Borneo. Put a chip in Calcutta. That's 3 and 1. And one battle left is 2 tacticals and 2 infantry versus 1 infantry in Hong Kong. Infantry defending at a 4. I'm not positive whether or not Hong Kong is mountainous, but I'm going to guess that it is, just because that's the way my luck goes. And so I will mark those infantry down to a 1. So 2 infantry at 1 or less. Both miss. 2 tacticals at 7 or less. Got an 8 and a 5. So 1 hit, which was all that was needed. And the infantry defending at a 4 or less. 4. So I'm going to lose 1 infantry, but I'm going to take Hong Kong. All right. Get that turned back around. Put a Japanese roundel on Hong Kong. And it is worth 2. So 2 and 1 is 3, and another 3 for Calcutta is going to be, 6. So it went up 6. So Japan's base income goes up 6, from 39 to 45. Yay me. Now, for the non-combats. The carriers that were down here in both 123 and 132 respectively are also going to move up into C-Zone 87. They were the only things left on these cards, so that's no longer C-Zone 54. I will put, where's that red chip? Where'd that red chip go? I'll put the red chip here to denote everything that's on this card in C-Zone 87. The blue chip come off the board. It's no longer signifying anything. All right. I'm making a mess of everything. Yay. All right. So in C-Zone 87, I'm going to try to get everybody a good count of everything that is left in C-Zone 87. Just so there is no confusion. Okay. In C-Zone 87, there are 2 battleships, a battle cruiser, 3 heavy cruisers, 1 destroyer, 2 light cruisers, 3 transports, a fleet carrier with a fighter and a tactical, and a light carrier with a fighter. All those are in C-Zone 87 on that card right there. There are 3 SNLF infantry in Calcutta. Okay. Okay, this destroyer is going to move from 133 to 132. Fighter from Hunan to Hainan Island. Fighter that's left in Hainan is going to fly down to Hainan Island. Right there. The two tacticals also going to fly to Hainan Island. Strategic bomber from Kyushu up here to Hainan Island. Two infantry from Hunan to Kwangtung. Right there we go. One artillery from Hopei to Shantung. That artillery is moving right there. I believe that is everything on the list for non-combat movement. This, I believe, if I am able to attack that guy this turn after putting that fighter on Maritime Air Patrol, which he was sitting here, I put him one space on Maritime Air Patrol and moved the destroyer up there. I would like to do that. If that's legal, I want to do that. If it's not legal, then it's not legal. I'm going to roll the dice just to see what happens. Fighter at 6 or less, 12 miss. Destroyer at 4 or less, 8 miss. I'm assuming the sub is going to submerge and not attack. That is my assumption. If he wishes to attack, then let me know, and we can continue that little battle. All right. I believe it's now time for me to place my units. Alright, one of the destroyers is going to go into C-Zone 56. And the other two destroyers are going to go into C-Zone 38. The 3 infantry are going to go into Kyushu. The militia. One of the militia goes in Java. Got another militia that goes in Sumatra. A militia in West Timor. A militia in Borneo. And a militia in Nanking. So that is the placement of all the units. Japanese income has gone up to 45. I am now at war with a major power, and I added up all my wartime bonuses at the end of the turn, and I believe they're sitting at 10. So if I understand it correctly, I should collect 55 income this round. If that is not correct, please let me know, and I will put it at whatever the group decides I need to put it at. But right now I'm going to collect 55 to have to spend next turn. That should bring this turn to a close, and I will pass it on to Ozark, and thanks everybody.